The plant-based milk producer Rude Health recently began a downward spiral, culminating in what some are calling brand suicide. The fiasco started when the company made a bizarre online post seeming to promote full-fat dairy milk in some of its products. The post read, "We may be dairy alternative producers, but that doesn't mean we are against dairy. Quite the opposite. We are for good quality, proper milk. We're talking whole milk, full-fat milk. We don't use skimmed milk powder in any of our foods. Nature has provided us with an ingredient that is the perfect balance of protein, good fats, and natural sugars. When they take cream out of milk, they remove most of the texture and all of the joy." As you can imagine, the vegan internet had a response, and the company's social media began being flooded with posts saying they would boycott the brand from now on, with some saying the post was a, quote, "stupid move," given the company's large vegan following. Now you'd think that's where this story ends. Some numbskull that works for the company decided they'd make some sort of misguided appeal to sell to dairy drinkers. I'm really not sure who this post is aimed at, but if you think this is where this story ends, you're wrong. It gets even more bizarre. The next day, a senior staff member decides that they hadn't lost enough customers yet, so she goes on this epic rant against her company's own products and Netflix. Quote, "Now it's vegetarianism and veganism promising to save you from cancer and early death and save the animals while you're at it. If you believe What the Health, Akja, and other propaganda films masquerading as documentaries on Netflix, all these regimes are defined by cutting out types of food, which is odd in itself if you aren't forced to by an allergy. But to follow these diets is to claim the health and moral high ground. Cue retailers V-Stop and the Vegan Kind pulling Rude Health products from their shelves. The Vegan Kind posted to its social media, "We've decided to put at Rude Health products that we currently stock into our clearance section and have canceled at Rude Health delivery that we were expecting from our supplier today. We will not be restocking their products." Then came the memes. They were all great. This one from Kate Louise Powell. She says, "At Oatly UK tonight when all the vegans switch after Rude Health's marketing disaster." Not sure who to credit this one with, but it's the most interesting man in the world meme. He says, "I don't always insult my customers, but when I do, I make sure it puts me out of business." In a statement to PBN, a Rude Health representative had this to say on the matter: "I'm both excited and scared to read anything they've written at this point. For those who know us only for our dairy-free drinks, which happen to be vegan as well as dairy-free, it may seem strange that Rude Health does not promote itself as a vegan company. This said, we are not against vegetarianism, veganism, or any other food or lifestyle choice, though we just ranted against it. What we are concerned about is anxiety around food, and anxiety around eating or not eating certain foods or food groups. We worry about people feeling confused or guilty about what they eat. We rave about eating as a social activity and about reconnecting with food through education. At Rude Health, we believe food is more than a way to simply nourish us. It should be a pleasurable, social, and thoughtful part of our lives. We eat to live and live to eat, and embrace all foods as long as they are sustainably produced and as unrefined as possible." But animal agriculture is unsustainable. Okay, going back to this, what we really want is for everyone to be in Rude Health. How each and every one of us achieves this goal is truly personal and very individual. So no apology, science denial, and defending cruelty. Another masterful statement from Rude Health. Rude Health, you mentioned education, so let's educate ourselves a little bit here. So according to Viva's latest report called White Lies, that looks specifically at the kinds of claims that the dairy industry touts, like the idea of dairy promoting strong bones, they found that in the UK, a half of all women and 1 in 5 men over the age of 50 will suffer a bone fracture and is fairly common in many Western countries. This is a fact that destroys the old myth that osteoporosis is caused by calcium deficiency, because those nations that consume the most cow's milk and other dairy products have the highest rate of osteoporosis and hip fractures, as well as a recent statement from Dr. Neil Barnard from the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, where he thinks that milk consumption can be even more dangerous. In fact, he says regular consumption of dairy products has also been linked to prostate cancer, lung cancer, breast cancer, and ovarian cancer. These facts aren't hard to come by nowadays, so to me, the most offensive thing about this entire Rude Health fiasco isn't the fact that they've insulted vegans. We're more than used to that. The most offensive part of all this is the willful ignorance on behalf of Rude Health and their seeming assumption that issuing a statement that could have just as easily been read off the back of one of their milk cartons instead of just apologizing is somehow an adequate reason to hand them your money again. Rude Health, you should honestly be ashamed of yourselves, not for the insult, but for the apathy and the mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging levels of stupidity. It's cowardice like yours that are keeping people sick and animals suffering. What do those of you watching think? Have I judged them too harshly or accurately? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, favorite, share, and subscribe for more plant-based news.